let's get into the fish.
Oh my word! Look at her.
That's Melusine.
Or him.
So on the left we have what's his name? Proteus, I think his name is. Let me have a slightly closer look.
Proteus Oceani.
So Proteus and Melusine, who's up there on the right, are these kind of fish god people. You can see Proteus there. He's not in his fishy form, but normally he's got these fishy legs. He looks exactly the same as Melusine up there on the top right. And we got a tree with a serpent there in the background and a sphinxy thing behind him, and some serpent dragons, and he's got a fire in a vessel. You know, these repeating themes. So what Proteus was it slips my mind right now, but somebody was told that if they wanted to go back home or wanted to achieve a task, they needed to go and find Proteus, and they needed to grab hold of him until he told them the truth. So whoever it was has gone out, grabbed hold of Proteus, and Proteus is a shapeshifter, and he's changed forms. This guy's grab hold of him until he switched into a lion, a bull, an eagle, a man, and whatever, and then he's kept hold of him, and then he's told him the truth. So bear that in mind as we talk about Melusine now. Melusine is supposedly the demon at the root of the Merovingians.
Oh,
and many of the European kings cite her as the ancestor. Right. Now, note that she's basically a naked lady of the sea, and she's got two serpentine tails in her hand, and she's split to where you would hope that a mermaid was split. So we got this mother fertility, these two sweeping arcs from under her belly, kind of getting towards the hip area. Well, you know, it keeps directing us in. When the male gods, we've had the phallus, and the female, we're getting this hip area. So the story of Melusine is very similar to Proteus. Melusine obviously is a sea dragony person, and she meets a fella, and he's a king of somewhere or a prince of somewhere, and he marries her, and she's some kind of a queenly figure, so it gives authority to his throne, as with the Merovingians, who were a French dynasty, much linked with all this stuff, and in the Matrix. And so the story was that she told him when they got married, listen, don't ever come and see me on a Saturday, Saturn day, the 7th day. Don't ever come and see me on a Saturday, else we won't be married anymore, and I'll disappear. So every Saturday, he's a good fella. Years down the line, he's getting more and more. I need to come on. And then
what on earth is she doing on Saturday?
Exactly.
She can't be mending
day,
her bike every week.
All day in the bath, in the water, in the bath, in the cup. And one day he gets the opportunity and he looks through the keyhole, and she sees his beady little eye looking through. Instantly, her bottom end she turns into a true self, which is his dragon serpentine form, flies out the window, never seen again. There are other stories around it. You know, there's the as with most things, there's the extended canon.
Yeah, the David spying from the rooftop on. Oh my God, who's he spying on?
Biblical David.
Yes.
I really don't know.
Oh gosh, I'm blanking. But there's Old Testament story of David who goes on the rooftop and is spying the woman in the fountain. In the fountain.
Oh, there you go. Yes,
it's the same.
Okay, right. I'll look that up when I get home. Thank you very much for that. No,
and there's an astrotheological element to that David story, which maybe applies to this.
Yeah, there probably is. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm thinking those two curls under her hips are the ecliptic and part of this secret that we'll get into later on.
What's going on with that fella's shoes? It's wigging me out.
The Yeezys.
Oh yeah, I can see it now.
They look kind of mental. So what is this? What is it we're talking about? Right? You've been asleep. So we said Saturn is the god of the unconscious. You've been asleep. Saturday, the end of the true end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the unconscious. it's you waking up after a dream and trying to remember that dream. And the second you look at it, it disappears. It changes form. It's something else.
Schrodinger's cat.
Very much like Schrodinger's cat, but in your own psyche. Is it or isn't it? It might be. It's like Schrodinger's cat if it was also an apple, a fire engine. You know what I mean? And the second you look at it, it's gone. The guy with Proteus, he managed to keep a hold of it, and then Proteus told him the future, where to go, whatever it was. You know, the thing he needed to know, he found out. So we're dealing with the subconscious here. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's move on. So this is, again, we've already kind of discussed this, but there's Typhon, to the Greeks, Cetus, this unconscious dark side of God, the big whale fella there.
Yeah.
Then we've got these two fish of Pisces, who are Aphrodite Urania, Aphros, which means sea form, which will come up again later, things born of the form of the sea. Dionysus' missus, Ariadne, she was form of the sea.
Right.
The Oannes comes from the form of the sea.
Right.
Then we've got Eros here, which means also called Bythos, which is the depths. It's all very complex. We don't need to go into it too much because we're going to decode this a little further on. But basically, the positive and negative sides of the human soul, none worse than the other, really. But you'd imagine that you want to unite with the universe rather than go and do your own thing and be your own universe. Because you are the universe, basically. A lot of morals come out of all this. But basically, all this stuff is the unconscious. It's the formlessness of the depths. Pisces itself is to do with mysticism and going into the depths and pulling out these fish, the cat. It's these formless, unconscious forms that are difficult to catch in the depths of your own watery self. You know, dreams, intuitions, things caught in trips. You know, it's your mum knowing when you're in trouble when you were 6 years old, and she came out looking for you because she just knew. It's that
Intuition, instinct, unconscious.
It's all unconscious. None more so than the positive fish of those two Pisces fish, representing the collective unconscious of Jung. These archetypes, these things that would exist quite independently of you, and in fact do you. The universe does you. When you look at it deeply, there's nothing you've invented yourself. The universe is doing you through these archetypes. And then we've got Piscis notius, as in the famous fish, as in notorious. Also called Piscis australis, as in the southern fish, because he's just below the ecliptic band, which would be the hemisphere, the waistline of the galaxy, of the
heavens.
Yeah, the heavens. Yeah. And he's the one again. Look, he's on his back. I've got to say there's something to that he's drinking the waters of Aquarius, and he's got it's ambrosia. It's this potion of the gods, this life force of the gods. You could say the fertilizing waters of the gods, and he's on his back. He's kind of drunk from it.
Is he only on his back because he's in the southern hemisphere?
I thought that too, but nothing else is really that inverted like that.
Okay,
so a few things are, but not really. But yes, well thought. I thought the same thing. So let's go to the next.